Another prayer. Let me get the on. Guys, well, go on. Everything bless, yeah? Bear with me. We're just gonna jump straight in. We ain't gonna wait for no one, yeah? Hold on. What am I looking for? Right. Guys, how are you anyway? I hope you're holding up. Right now it's pretty isolated. I don't know if y'all feel isolated, like everybody's gone on vacation or something. But yeah, how you guys holding up, man? Come on, mate. Let's get it. Yeah, so today I want to talk about critical mass. You've probably not heard, you probably have heard that term before, but I want to speak to it in terms of how it relates to the situation going on Earth right now. It ties into a lot of the stuff going on right now ties into the critical mass that's going on the planet. So we're going to explain that a little and go off into what it's connected to, elaborate on that a bit for you guys, yeah? It's very important right now because of it's very important right now because where this leads to um, is the difference between whether you make it or not. You understand? So it's very important. Yo, what's going on with this? Play the rascal out thing, man. What's wrong? Yeah. So while this is catching its brains, I say, who paneteru menunu cheyu kawunla lul bihu. He, she, the deities who nothing exists except by way of the mother, father, creator, force. Pa istaf bat anuki fi pa ashuk shil kulum wakul ashuk kalun fi ni anuki farugun shil kulum wakul kalun farugun shil ni anuki wahed ka kulum wakul kalun wahed ka ni nuk aikilu anjihu kama farugun shil kulum wakub kama faryudun nuk aikilu akwenu kuldek nuk akfuzi fi kulum kama tawul kama kafuzi kalun liya amidu fi kulum anuki kabaha wahud kulum kalun anuki kulum yakul nuk aikilu kulum dura nuk akmilu amfum for all. Right, you caught yourself, yeah? Yeah, so guys, we're just gonna jump straight in. Whoever the two guys are that's already here, I appreciate you guys, yeah? We're gonna jump straight in on this critical mass. We're not gonna wait for more people. Two is good. Whoever joins us, joins us. Whoever don't, they can watch it later. So critical mass. The last time we had a discussion about physical creation and the Most High and how all this thing came into being, I just want to recap this little point about the 1 billion, 8 million unified consciousnesses that make up what we call the all that there is. The all that there is, when we speak about oneness, is actually a collective oneness, a unified whole. And this collective oneness is 1 billion, 8 million consciousnesses unified into a super consciousness, which we can refer to as Barkalum, the all. Okay? Now, as we've said before, if you want to say the all, or God, knows everything, but hasn't experienced everything. So there's a difference between knowing everything and experiencing what you know. So this whole physical creation, this whole holographic computer simulated reality is a simulation created for us to have all the experiences that we know. Remember, God knows everything, but this collective consciousness hasn't experienced everything it knows. So we've created this physical reality as a simulation where we can learn all these experiences and have all these different experiences, from the good to the bad, from the high to the low, from the fast to the slow. You understand? In a universe that has polar opposites, or the word polarity. I'll say, okay, so all of us, yeah, is the all experiencing itself, yeah, temporarily experiencing itself in all of these forms, whether it's plant life, fauna, whether it's humans, whether it's animals, whether it's sentient life or non-sentient life. They're all different focal points of the all experiencing itself. So that means all of us here, we're just the all. We're just the all experiencing itself. So there's really no me, there's no you, there's no him, there's no her, there's no separation between us. We're all the same space fabric. We're all connected by the same space fabric, which we can refer to as the Eva. Okay? So the all is experienced in itself temporarily in forms from the formlessness. Okay? Now, it's been told in our teachings that when all these experiences have been experienced, we'll reach the point of critical mass. Now, as I've said before, I can't tell you what happens at this moment of critical mass. But what I want to speak about today is the fact that we're on the doorstep of this same critical mass. We're on the doorstep right now. And that's why so much madness in the world seems like it's overwhelming. That's why there's so much mixed feelings. One moment you're happy, next moment you're sad. One moment you're depressed, then you're elated, then you're euphoric. You understand what I'm saying? It's all over the place, yeah? Because we're right on the cusp of the critical mass. So this is what we wanted to explain today in all of its little, unpack it in all its little vivid details. So I hope you got a notepad and a pen. So the critical mass, according to the Bible, is 144,000, what they call elites or refined ones, what's called in Islam Mukhlasina, the elite group, 144,000. We've already said that they show these elite group of people in the Matrix, when they show you all them children with that have powers, that interact with Neo and even teach Neo things. They represent the Mukhlasina, or the 144,000 that will plug out from this Matrix and escape. And also we made the point before that light travels at 186,272 feet per second, yeah? But if you translate that into minutes per arc, because remember that we've got a dome over us. So if you got a glass dome, light refracts, right? Like you can see it bend, like if it hits another medium like water, it bends, it makes the light refract. So because we've got a dome, when light, angles of light, when light rays hit our dome, the light refracts, yeah? And you can measure the speed that the light travels around this dome or around the arc. So 186,272 feet per second is actually 144,000 minutes per arc. You understand? So it's when light reaches that speed of the speed of light, 186,272 feet per second, or 144,000 arc minutes, yeah, that's when light becomes enlightening. In terms of, remember, all of our thoughts are light. They're light waves that travel in your head. For me and you to be able to communicate now, it's all light waves, it's all frequencies. Once your light inside yourself reaches 144,000 arc minutes, yeah, you become enlightened, like the Buddha says. This is when you reach the no mind and you connect to the Akasha records, because your light is vibrating at that hertz or that frequency. Do you see what I'm saying? Let me light my spliff. Guys, I'm gonna try and do better on the question and answer. When I'm done, I'll open up for questions. Yeah, but if you have any questions, put them on even before I go into the question and answer bit. Because if I'm done lecturing and there's no questions on the page, more time I'm just gonna end the live, because it's just a bad habit. I just end the live without checking um, you lot's comments enough. And sometimes I do check it, but I want to be more, I want you lot to be more involved in these lives. I don't want to just be talking. So if you do have any questions that come up in your mind, write them down now, even before we get to the question and answer bit. So that when we get to the question and answer bit, you've lined up 5, 6 questions for man. You must have questions. You can't come to this live and tell me you don't have no questions about what's going on now. I'm here to help you and to help me so we can have a clarity in what's going on. So I advise you, if you got questions, put them questions on the thread. Don't wait until I say, okay, give me your questions. Do that shit now. You understand? Yeah. So where was I? The 144,000 arc minutes, yeah? So like I said, we're just focal points. I like to use that word. Different focal points on the body of the all, and each one of us is a unique expression of the all. Do you understand what I'm saying? Every one of us is as relevant as another, even beyond race and shit. From the black to the white to the mixed race to the Chinese, it doesn't matter. All of us are children of the all. Do you understand? And so on that quantum level, we're all connected and we're all just playing roles. We're all just a bag of energy and we're just playing roles. You understand what I'm saying? So we're experiencing everything that we know right now. And so that's not partial. If we're experiencing everything, then that means just as much as we're experiencing all the goodness and golden ages and life and abundance and sharing, you have to experience the mirror too, which is evil and selfishness and murder and rape. Yo, we have to, and it sounds mad, but this is what's going on. The all is experiencing itself. Yeah, and we are conscious beings in awareness of ourselves, that we're conscious energy beings. You understand? I'm going to get to the cusp of this critical mass, but I had to say this little piece so that you get the gist of this conversation. Yeah. So all of this in the physical creation began 76 trillion years ago. 76 trillion years ago. Remember, they tell us the Earth's only 4.5 billion years old. I'll remind you, all of this started 76 trillion years ago when we're speaking about the physical creation, this computer simulated holographic reality that we're calling life or we're calling existence. That goes back 76 trillion years ago. Yeah, if we're talking about the first, if you want to say Big Bang. Yeah, now, when we talk about reptilians, Alpha Draconians, I've mentioned before that these Alpha Draconians are not the same kind of beings as us humans. How can I explain it to you? Us humans are conscious creators. We have a piece of the Most High in us that makes us creator gods ourselves. Do you understand what I'm saying? So collectively, not individually, like I can just make the life I want here. Even though you can, you're not going to do it in the click of a finger. But the way this works is more as a collective consciousness, just like this critical mass thing. If a certain amount of the population, let's say 5 billion people, think this way, then the world's going to think this way, because most of the people that are putting into this collective consciousness are thinking this way. So it's going to go down this way. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when you're dealing with reptilians, we give into fantasies and beliefs and placebos. And put it this way for you: anything that you believe in, if you say you're Muslim and you believe in Allah, then Allah is real for you. Do you understand? If you're a Christian and you say you worship Jesus, then Jesus is real for you. He's not real for us, but he's real for you because you put that placebo in your head. So in essence, you're going to create your own heaven and hell based on your beliefs on earth right now. That's why there's so much energy that goes into these religious traps and stuff to trap you in a certain kind of consciousness. So you create your own hell. You create your own reincarnation coming back to this planet and all that. So with the reptilians, it's the same principle. Because humanity has projected this demon, this fear, demon, we projected that into and encoded it into reality. We created these reptilians from the way that's our shadow. Do you understand? So certain galactic forces that are out here fighting reptilians, they've been telling humans, we can keep fighting them, but they're never going to go away unless you guys fight them. You're going to have to fight them from the inside because it's your shadow. Y'all are projecting these niggas out here. They feeding off you. Their power comes from you, meaning humanity, war, poverty, disease, covetousness, murder, rape, pedophilia. All of this stuff makes these entities. They have to have that. You understand? Without that negative energy, they don't exist. They will erase. They will uncreate. Do you understand what I'm saying? But the work is for us. A lot of us down here, we still talking about Anunnakis like it's their responsibility to rid this planet of what we did. We did this. Anunnaki didn't do this. Yeah, they had a hand in it. But for where the world is today, this is our fault, mate. Us humans. And it's our responsibility. It's not Anunnaki's responsibility. Do you understand? I'm not saying they're not going to help us, but ultimately it's not their responsibility. This world is me and you, our responsibility. Do you understand? So I'm saying the reptilians are humanity's shadow. It's a mental projection that humans have collectively put into this reality and encoded it into our world, where they are, everything they're doing, we visualize that, we encoded that, whether we were coerced to do it or tricked to do it or what. The fact is, it's all coming from our brain. And you can have another 4 or 5 galactic forces around the earth trying to fight these demons. They're never going to go until you start addressing your shadow and your beliefs and your subconscious, and you catch yourself in your negative self-talk and stuff, and you start addressing your own paradigms. That's where humans are at this crossroad, which is the doorstep of critical mass. Okay? So them reptilians are just mental projections. Yeah, they were created by Mother Hubbard, who was the chief scientist of the previous Anu. But you could say that Mother Hubbard's just a human too. We calling them Anunnakis, but they're humanoids. Do you understand? So we've created all of this madness from ourselves. Yeah? All suffering is self-inflicted. And that's the perfect way of putting it when we're speaking about Earth right now and everything that's going on Earth. We self-inflicted ourselves with this shit. Ain't nobody just come here and cast spells on us and all this shit. We cast spells on ourselves from up here. Yeah? So to fight the evil that's going on the planet now, the Armageddon must go on inside of yourself as much as it's going on outside of yourself. It's inside of yourself what really matters. How do you address yourself? How do you reprove yourself, your bad habits? How do you reprove your gossip when you're gossiping about other people? Yeah, because we all have character flaws. And gossiping is the lowest form of knowledge. It's the lowest form of information, gossip. And most of us do it. We like to talk about people when they're not here. We don't like to say, you know what, I don't want to talk about this person because they're not here. We're happy to listen to this person slag off someone that's not here. And all these little things mean something. They all add up. Every little thing adds up. So if you're not addressing all these little nicks in yourself, well, I don't need that. I need to get rid of this habit, or I need to get rid of that. And I need to straighten up here. Or I need to be more consistent when I wake up and do meditation. All of this shit counts. And like I said on that little snippet that I put on Instagram when I says, if you out here talking about Anunnaki and everything, and all you do is go online and scroll, you're in a bad position, because the Anunnaki is going to draw you down. They're going to say, okay, teach me about Anunnaki. Who is the 8 scientists who worked on the Earth Project? What are you going to say if you don't know? Who was the chief scientist? No, it wasn't Enki. It was Ninti, the sister. Do you understand? They're going to ask you, what do you know about Egypt? Yeah, what do you know about Israel? Okay, what do you think about, do you believe in a God? Or do you believe there's not a God? What language do you speak? Okay, so what did you do with your time on Earth then? Like, a lot of people think they can just bandwagon this thing and then they'll get saved. It don't work. This ain't Christianity. It don't work like that. You're going to have to put the work in. You're going to have to study. Turn off that Instagram. Turn off YouTube. Yeah? And jump into the books that was around 20, 30 years before any bloody YouTube and all of that stuff, when they were trying to tell us what's going on or what is to come. Okay? So these reptilians, when I said they need our negative energy, they call it Loosh. L-O-O-S-H. We project a certain kind of, just like we have an aura and a toroid spear of energy around us that extends from our heart and our chakras and stuff. Um, the reptilians, yeah, they are parasitic, meaning, like I said, how we created them and they need our energy. They need a host. So they need loosh. They need a certain kind of energy that's coming from animals, panic, fear, negativity, resentment, sorrow, regret, disappointment. Any kind of low vibrationary frequency in living beings produces an energy or a loosh. And the reptilians feed off this loosh. And so they have to keep certain things going in the world so that there's loads of loosh. Like we keep saying the same thing: war, murder, nuclear bombs. Yeah, all of these things that just make the anxiety, mass hysteria. So everybody's always on edge, and these religions tell you about fear, demon, devil. Everything's fear. You understand what I'm saying? So they latch on to their host by the loose. More time it's from the back. If you've got your third eye open, sometimes you'll be able to see in the corner of your eye. If you've got one of them trying to latch onto you, you'll be able to see these shadow beings like in the corner of your eye. And when you try and fix on them, it goes to the other corner. Like you can never focus in on them with these eyes. You see what I'm saying? But they attach themselves to human beings via their spine. So they attach to your spine, yeah, from their dimension. And so everywhere you're walking, it's like you got a big ass 10-foot reptilian behind you that's latched onto your ass, to your spine. And they're just taking all your energy and they're taking all your experiences. That's like you driving a car. You're having a great time. Oh, this drive's a nice drive. Yo, he's probably, some of these reptilians are having a nice drive with humans. Do you understand? So they latch on to your back, yeah? And this is going back some 6,000 years since this thing's been running, yeah, as the spell of sleep. But it goes even further back than 6,000 years. 6,000 years is just for the spell of sleep that we've been under, this racial and spiritual amnesia. Do you understand? And that's to do with the same electromagnetic net that was cast around the earth. We call it the Schumann resonance. That's the electromagnetic net, yeah? That's blocks out certain light codes from coming into earth. So we're trapped here in the 3D. And like I said before, that was actually done by the Galactic Council. It wasn't done by the reptilians. The Galactic Council took that measure to try and trap the reptilians here. Because rather than have them on all these different planets doing this madness, we might as well trap them where we can. And any planet we find them on, let's trap them there. Because they're trying to come off the planet and take humans off planet and all types of shit. So they put the net, the electromagnetic net, the Schumann resonance on this planet to trap the demons, the reptilians that was here. The reptilians got smart and they used that same net against me and you to trap us in a spell. Say, okay, y'all gonna trap us here with this bullshit. Yo, we're gonna use it on your people then. All your people here, we're gonna use it on them too and trap them. So it's like 2 layers of this shit. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah, so the light particles, the net's been removed. The Galactic Council have lifted the net. So if you're feeling like basket, a lot of people are waking up since 2020, you know, this awakening thing is more to it than just a word. Oh yeah, the awakening. What is the awakening? Explain it. The removal of the veil. This net, electromagnetic net is gone. And also we've gone through the photon belt. Photons are light particles. We've had this discussion before. So the more photons that are inside your body, and they're subatomic particles, so they just pass through solid, liquid, gas, like, yo, pass through your ass. Do you understand? But the more of them that are dwelling in you, and that it makes you be able to hold more information, because you're dealing with a light particle, and all light is information. So the whole electromagnetic spectrum is information that tells certain beings what to do, how to grow, how tall to grow, how fast to grow, how it's information. Every light ray has information on it. So when you see Akhenaten spreading his hands to the sun, and you see the sun rays with the little hands on them, like at the end of all the rays, it's got little hands on them. It's information on there. It's information. Do you understand what I'm saying? You can download that shit from the spectrum, especially me and you, carbonated melanolite, because we got chlorophyll, or what they call it melanin. You understand? So we can download the whole entire electromagnetic spectrum, yeah, which is not much. It's 10% of all this creation. The electromagnetic spectrum only makes up 10%, but we can download the whole of it as original solar beings, yeah? So now that we're going through the photon belt, yeah, and there's now more photon particles, light particles in our neck of the wood that is influencing people. So it's forcing people to have to wake up. People have to wake up. Do you know how much light particles are running through this bitch right now? Yeah, where people you thought that will never wake up is now telling you about Illuminati, or yo, I regret that I took the poison, or yo, because people's eyes have opened, man. And like I said, once we make that critical mass, yo, the whole tide turns. It's a shift, but let's go on. So the media now, like we've said before, their job is to stop all of these shocking revelations from coming out to us. They're holding back this tide. Let me tell you why. Give you an example. Hunter Biden's laptop. Yo, seal that shit. We don't want the public to know about this shit. So even up to now, we only know tidbits of the shit. We don't really know no details of this shit other than, okay, he's a crackhead. Yeah, and on his laptop, he's got some wrong and shit. Yeah, some pedo shit's going on his laptop, and they don't want us to see. And he's made deals with China, and they don't want us to see. So they blocking that story. There's a block on that story. This is the media's job. Yeah, Weinstein. What happened to Weinstein since he's gone jail? Yeah, it weren't no one woman or one person that he molested. Do you know how much people on that casting couch, yo, have been through a nightmare? Stars that you know that have spoken out and stuff. And soon as he got done, yo, they put him in jail to make you think, okay, it's justice. When really, that's not justice. If you, he should have got 10 times the time that he's got, yeah? And we should have been told how deep this rabbit hole goes, but we're not told because the media's job is to block you, block that story. The Pandora Papers with the tax evasion that came out with all these politicians putting their money in offshore banking like Tony Blair and all of them, and they don't pay no tax while we out here dying, paying tax through our teeth and shit, man. Yeah, cost of living, yo, do you understand what I'm saying? The media's job is to block all these stories, yeah? The Supreme Courts and this abortion stuff and all the stuff they say behind closed doors, yeah? The rigging of the selection, you know what I'm talking about. I'm trying to, like, so YouTube don't censor me, yeah? You know how they badded Donald Trump on that last election. All of this shit, the media's job is to keep that buried. Even the Russian-China collusion, all of that stuff there, and Biden and them's activities in China and stuff, their job is to keep it, yo, locked. And they're not doing very well because it's leaking out of everywhere. Everywhere you look, there's stories leaking out of the media. And let me tell you this, very soon they'll be overwhelmed because large parts of the media have already been taken over by the Alliance and by the Galactic Forces. And so they've already got it in their plan that a time will come where the whole media is overtaken. Corporate media don't run no more. It's the end. We're seeing the end. We're at critical mass on the doorstep right now. And that's the reason why yesterday I said to you, oh, I'm not really trying to put myself out in the public right now. It's like speaking to the wind and rare. Then I mentioned on my Instagram, for the last couple of nights I've been traveling because I travel a lot in my sleep. And it's not something I'm in control of. Sometimes it happens a lot. Sometimes it don't happen for time. But for the last couple of days, I've been traveling. I've been coming back to this realm, remembering things. And I had a conversation last night with the masters. I can't tell you who they were because it's not like I can tell you this guy's him or this guy's him. I don't know who they are. But the masters are telling me you can't not do lives. People depend on you. It's why you're here. That's half of your mission. So don't get carried away just because now you've got a jump off with your music that you can forget what Jadefre is doing. Like what Jadefre is doing is vital. Even if people, you don't have the numbers of people and the big platform, yo, what you're doing is vital. The realest people don't have no followings. Do you understand? And they wanted me to know, yo, we want you to go back live and keep doing it. And even when you feel overwhelmed and stuff, have a break, but come back. Because that's why we sent you here. We sent you here just for that purpose. We ain't sent you here to get rich. We ain't sent you here to do nothing but lead the people back to themselves, while at the same time you are uncovering, documenting, protecting and propagating the right history of this planet Earth. This is what I'm here for. So, yo, no matter how I feel, it seems like my masters want me to keep doing this for you guys. It doesn't matter if it's only 5 people watching. It doesn't matter if it's 50,000 people watching. It really doesn't matter. It's just by me doing this, they say I will continue to create ripples through realms. And then when I come home, I'll be seen as a hero. And it lifted me up, man. It lifted me up. It was a real good experience. So I woke up today like, yo, I got to go live today, man, based on that and me watching Rod Hayes and the Young Elders live yesterday. So I like to say to you guys, a lot of the information in this live that I'm about to go from here is going to be from the live with Young Elder and Rod Hayes, which was posted up yesterday. And if you haven't watched it, I advise you to go and watch it, because what I'm doing is passing on that information to you guys, people who is in my circle, so we can have more clarity on what they're saying. But even if you decide to stay to the end of this live, I still would advise you to go and watch the live between the two brothers with the information that they let off, and you'll be in a better position. You'll thank me after, don't worry. It's about 2 hours long, yeah. So yeah, they're hiding up all these stories, man. Sex trafficking, adrenochrome, what really happened with this Capitol Hill stuff, the whole shit. But I want to say that everything they're trying to hide is already known. Like the alliance, Trump played more of a role than we realize, according to Rod Hayes, yeah. Trump, I'll get to Trump later, but it ties into all of this stuff and why they're so against my man, yeah. So that's the media's job. Even the George Floyd thing was a psyop. Even the Nipsey Hussle thing was a psyop. Even the Kobe Bryant thing was a psyop. Even the Breonna Taylor thing was a psyop. Even, what's his name, Jacob Blake is a psyop. Listen, I run out of names. I know there's more people that they killed. But most, I'm not going to say all of them, most of them was planned. When I say planned, I'm not saying that some of them didn't die, because I do believe some of these people really did die. But the bulk of these people ain't dead. It's a setup, man. It's a psyop. You know what they wanted? We were so close to overwhelming the media at that point. You know, when all them riots were going on around the world because of this George Floyd thing, yeah? That was like, it backfired on them, because when this scamdemic started, they thought to the, because remember, we had the scamdemic. If your memory is like mine, I got photographic memory. So I remember 2020, you had Trump with missiles from warships near Russia. Them US had them warships there. And Trump was deciding, yo, shall I launch a missile on Putin and them Ross, or shall I not? And then at the last minute, he decided not to. But we had a couple of them scares. This is January 2020. We had a couple of them scares. The year just started on a madness. Everyone was talking about, yo, it might be nuclear war. You know, Trump might nuke, man. Do you understand what I'm saying? And then with that, you also had all these revelations about adrenochrome, because Weinstein and Epstein has just happened in 2018, 2019. We had the Weinstein, Epstein stuff, and yo, it was spilling everywhere. So they needed something to distract us, because if you remember social media at that point, everyone was posting on this adrenochrome thing and the child sex trafficking and how Hollywood, Weinstein, Epstein, yo, the thing was, listen, couple more days, it would have been finished for them. It would have been game over. So they had to come up with some shit like, yo, we need to do something quick, you know. Which card should we pull? Race war. We need a race war. If we do a race war, people will forget about this shit. And then they'll start fighting each other and shit. So they tried their hardest and it failed. All of that shit you're seeing with Breonna Taylor, Jacob Blake, fucking George Floyd. Yo, all of that was designed to make, yo, people just kick off against, yo, black people kick off. And then think about this. If that happened, do you know how much black people they would have killed? Do you know how much black people would have died and the world would have just sat back and watched it? I'm telling you, they was hoping that we went for that race war where they could have had an excuse to come out into these cities and just start killing up black people. Now they got all this melanin to make their computer chips. Now they can make all these smart gadgets and shit. They can kill off all these black people. Let's have a race war, man. Yeah, we can't just run up on people and kill them in the street. Everyone's like speaking out. We need a race war and we can wipe out a whole bunch of them. That's like killing two birds with one stone. Because now we got all this melanin we can put into our technology and stuff. Because remember, that's come out now, how melanin can control electrons and shit. Like I said, we can download the whole electromagnetic spectrum. We are sun children. That means the sun is in our genes, in our soul, in our DNA. That means we're born to shine through any kind of darkness. Okay? So all of that was a psyops. They wanted to have a race war, and that race war failed. Yeah, and while they were planning for this race war, they didn't even want to speak about this spike protein no more. It was just all George Floyd race war here, there, this city, this. Yo, from America to Australia, niggas was throwing statues in the rivers and shit. Yo, this joint was peak. So they had to come up with something. They had to come up with something. They tried the George Floyd thing and it made it worse. It flamed the fire. Yeah. So after that now, they went back to the whole, yo, we just need to stick to this corona thing, this narrative. So they started sticking to this thing, talking about they're going to roll out the thing. You know what I'm talking about, the wonton soup. We're going to roll out this soup, yeah, and that's going to be the end all of it. Yeah, but they had to stage them psyops there. People were getting into, hold on, what happened to Weinstein? You just locked him up. We never heard nothing else. What happened to Epstein? Yeah, did he really kill himself or did he not? Yeah, reports are that he's still on his island, rude boy. There's a whole bunch of work going on my man's island. The cameras ain't there now. So we're none the wiser. But the wise know, listen, my man's still about. Do you understand? Okay, Ghislaine Maxwell. Okay, she's guilty. They give her X amount of years. What is she guilty for? Who did she traffic these children to? These people that she trafficked these children to in high places, politicians, royal families, big pharma, big tech, yeah, entrepreneurs, philanthropists, businessmen, socialites, businesswomen. All of these people that bought these children, they're still in your society. They're still running your government. They're still all up in Hollywood and the music industry. We don't even know who they are. They just stuck all this thing on Maxwell. It's not her alone. Yeah, she's guilty. She's a demon. But where's all the rest demons that she was trafficking these children to? They ain't told us. So this is why I'm telling you, the media is trying to keep these things away. They're trying to give you these shit stories like Jada Pinkett. Yo, okay, everybody's speaking about, who gives a shit about Jada Pinkett, man? Yeah, or Will Smith. Oh yeah, Will Smith slapped this guy. Everybody's talking about this slap. Oh, Dave Chappelle got rushed on stage. Yeah, but if you talk about something real, something significant, half these humans don't even want to entertain you. They don't want to know. Say, yo, a meteor's gonna come, you know. We're gonna have a meteor shower by 2030. And it's peak. If you ain't making a plan, it's peak. You understand? Oh, yo, he's talking about conspiracy theories again. They'd rather watch BET, bro. Like, and this is what I'm saying. Humans, yo, I did not prepare myself for how dumb humans are and how apathetic. That means they're just not interested. They don't want to know. So apathetic about what's going on. Yo, Illuminati, that's light work. Aliens, HARP, CERN, nothing. Yo, I was prepared for all of it except for the reaction that the world would have. I never planned for that bit, that humans would be so lost. I see niggas walking around in masks today. Yeah, young people walking around in masks and shit. Like, yo, it's crazy. But anyway, they did all of that shit because they needed a distraction from social media, what you call truthers or red pillars, people like myself and you guys, yeah, who post up all this shit because we don't give a shit. We're going to post it on our Instagram. We're going to post it on our Facebook. We ain't on there just to scroll. Some of us hate these apps, but we're doing a service. We're operating with it. We're not just on there just to like and scroll. We're on there to try and influence people and lead them back to themselves. Do you understand? So people like us was making it very difficult for the media. So they was like, yo, we need to shut down this social media shit and start censoring this thing. Now it's developed into, okay, we need a biometric internet to stop all this internet fraud, because they just can't handle people like us. Even though they've got me heavily shadow banned and next man heavily shadow banned, they can't handle the kind of heat that we're putting out, man. He's twisting caps with these stuff that we're putting out. This information here, you ain't gonna find it from the snake oil sellers. It's not gonna make no change in you. Do you understand what I'm saying? So yeah, the point I'm saying is, if they got that race war going, yo, they'd have had an excuse to just wipe out X amount of black people. Loads of black people would have been killed, and they didn't get it. It failed. And don't think they're going to take that on the chin. They're fucking pissed that we never fell for that trick. We never fell for that Hegelian dialectic. Yo, you had white people with black people out in the cities fighting. You understand what I'm saying? Fuck the race war. We had Maori people and everyone joined in on this thing. Everyone was so offended. Hold on, another black man got killed like that. It backfired this time. The Schumann resonance went up to, what did it go up to? Remember, its default is 7.83 hertz. That's the net that keeps us in this 3D, that electromagnetic net. Now I'm thinking, I believe it was that event when it backfired that fucked up the net. that bust the net. Because since on that day when that thing happened with George Floyd, PSYOP, yeah, it went from 7.83 hertz all the way up to 120 hertz, and it stayed there for a long time. I think it was something like 3 weeks or something, because I kept checking. I kept going back. There's a site where the geezer was watching it. And every day he's telling you, yo, today it's 7.83, and the next day it's 80 this, and yo, it was a mad thing. And no one was paying attention. I put it in my book, Coronation, when we started breaking these shits down. Do you understand? But I believe that kind of threw off this net, whatever net was on us, to keep us in this 7.83, because that's the default of the world and all consciousness on the planet Earth. So that means our brains are set at that default too, in order for us to communicate with each other and stuff. So I feel like now it's way up there, yeah, and it's fluctuating, and it's just cast off this fucking net. So now a lot of people are having this great realization, like, hold on, like this awakening shit's for real. It's not a joke thing, it's not a gimmick thing. Even if you don't believe in it, your government believes in it. Everything that they're doing now is to do with this awakening thing. Do you understand? So let's now skip to the deep state and talk about the deep state just briefly, because the deep state is having its own civil war. It's split in two. So there's parts of the deep state that are down for this evil agenda, and there's parts of the deep state that is allied themselves to get rid of this evil agenda. So you've had this back and forth between especially US politicians for the longest while, since Dwight Eisenhower made his statement about this US industrial military complex, which is the enemy of the people and it's a threat. Do you understand? He's talking about that dark side of the deep state, that he was trying to be on the good side, even though they're shady too. He was on the other side of the deep state. But he realized at that point, bastard, these men have got the upper hand. These men are running everything. They're going to kill the Constitution and the whole thing. So, yo, on my way out the door, I'm going to warn the people about this deep state. Kennedy did the same thing. Do you understand? And so when you understand US politics, if you really study how this US politics thing, because it's all deception and deceit, yeah, how it's set up, yeah, it's like the deep state. So you're talking about FBI, CIA, IRS, all these fucked up 3-letter words. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, them niggas there, they don't really share information with like Congress, just normal Congress or the president or government. Yo, these men have got their own clique. You ain't down. You ain't in our clique. This is the Illuminati clique, nigga. These are the mama's boys, the Masons. So if you ain't in our hood, in our clique, you ain't privy to none of this shit, girl. I don't care what title you got or badge you got. We're above and beyond you. We operate as part of the shadow government. Y'all niggas is regular government. That's like police. When FBI come and the police has to, yo, the FBI's took over, let's go home, mate. They've took over the case. Because the FBI overrides these little niggas. It's the same with this deep state thing. They know they're above and beyond the law. So they operate like that. They bend laws, they break laws, they ignore laws, they bury shit. Do you understand? They'll bury man just to keep their secret. So the deep state is split in two, and they're having a civil war. The good side is referred to as the alliance. Now, both sides involve like people from various different industries. So it's not just military. It's just called that. You got doctors involved, yeah? You've got scientists involved. You got media people involved. You got stars like Hollywood stars involved. You got religions involved. You got big tech involved. You got big pharma involved. You got the medical industry involved. Yeah, yo, you got the education thing involved. Like it's crazy. But they're having a civil war among themselves because one faction wants to get this dark side out, and obviously the dark side don't want to lose their power. So they've been having this whole tug of war thing before this Putin Ukraine thing started kicking off. They started kicking off early 2020. Like, hold on, no, we want to do it this way. No, we want to get rid of these guys. So it's like give and take. If the alliance do something to expose the cabal they'll move their piece on the chessboard to kind of counteract what these men have done. So now what you've got going on is a game of chess. You understand? None of these guys are good guys. They're playing chess to try and keep power, and they're having an argument with each other. Trump is being used, and we're going to get to him. Hold on. So yeah, if you've been paying attention, you'll notice that there's been a lot about Malcolm X in the media recently. First, with another family member of his died. Was it his son that they killed overseas somewhere? They killed his son somewhere, which I remember reading that story and it touched me, man. I was like, ouch, man, that, yo, Malcolm's dear to me, do you get me? But more recently, they had them two geezers, I think they were police, that were cleared from Malcolm's murder in the Autobahn room. They cleared them and said, okay, it wasn't you, man. They cleared them and got them out, yeah? And now you've got a retired police officer, FBI or one of them deep state things, yeah, black man, who, while he was dying, he says, okay, now I want to confess. I had a part in Malcolm X's killing. This is a black retired Fed. Go and check it out. He told this to his cousin on his deathbed. They've wrote a whole book. I don't know if this guy wrote the book and told his cousin, listen, don't release this shit till I'm dead. Do you understand? Y'all go and check that out. The guy who's pushing the book now, the cousin, is named Reggie Wood. But this guy, yeah, unravels the whole Malcolm X thing and how it links to the Statue of Liberty bombing and stuff. So all this stuff about Malcolm keeps coming up. What's the significance? The significance is this. Once they find out that Malcolm X was targeted and set up and that the FBI was using agents and informants to infiltrate the Nation of Islam, yeah, this same Reggie Wood, they used him to go into various different black organizations and take them down, man, and kill people, man. You understand? They use these black devils. I want y'all to understand, these ain't white people that's killing us. These is the black devil. No white man ain't getting into the Nation of Islam. So these agents of Satan that look like us, but they're not fucking us. I keep telling people this. All skin folk ain't your kinfolk. And all people who are white are not fucking your enemy. Do you understand? It's stupid to still think like that. Okay, everyone black has got my best interest at heart. Or they're on my side. Nigga, there's black devils that infiltrate organizations and will get you murked. Do you understand what I'm saying? They work for the devil. They got a pack for the devil. They work with the demons. You understand? So these, I'm sure at the time of Malcolm X's killing, 9 people in that room was agents. 9 black men in that room was agents. Some of them was compromised, where the FBI will trap them in, entrapment. Make up some easy opportunity thing. Soon as you go for it now, okay, you're on no rest. We've trapped you now. Now you got to fucking do this. Yeah, on this day when Malcolm X goes to this room, you can't be there. Make up some excuse why his security, you can't be there. So his main security weren't even with him. They locked them niggas up for the Statue of Liberty thing. Yeah, and this same Reggie Wood, the police officer, the informant, he indicted Tupac's mum in the Panther 5 thing. Yeah, and gave evidence against Tupac's mum so that Tupac was born in jail. So what I'm saying is all the cases that this guy was involved in are now suspect. They'll have to get throughout. People will have to be released. So we're going down to all of the H. Rap Brown, Mumia Abu Jamal, all of our political prisoners. It's touching on this shit because it's going to show, hold on, this shit's all connected. They set all these niggas up to get them out. Just like they did when they came over on the Mayflower, yeah? When they came over on the Mayflower, we made treaties with them. There's certain things you can do. There's certain things you can't do. This realm has got laws. When people ask, how did these Tamahu overtake us? Easy. They broke all the fucking laws. You respect laws. You dealing with someone who don't respect no laws. What law did he break? Okay, you can't murder people. As soon as they landed on Plymouth Rock, they started murdering all our chiefs. They murdered them. We didn't know what kind of fucking human we're dealing with. What kind of person is this? Do you understand? He kills indiscriminately. He don't even need a reason. He just kill us and take our land and shit, man. Yo, go to Rod Hayes and the young elder for more on that thread. I don't even want to take credit for none of that information there. I want you to go and listen to that live and hear what they tell you about the Native Americans that live in tents and stuff. They didn't even live in, the Native Americans didn't even live in tents. Them niggas that was in the tents was part of the Wolf Clan, where they live like that. They live all over the place in the wild in little tents and shit. Niggas had castles behind there. America full of castles, like Rod and them was saying. Most of them have been turned into jails and fucking government buildings and all of that stuff. You understand? We aren't living in no fucking tents. Yeah, that's for a certain tribe of people, the Wolf Clan. Yeah, what you see them make Twilight and all of these werewolf versus vampire movies of the vampires is fucking them. Vlad's children who came from Europe. You understand? Who need your blood. Yeah, the werewolves was us who lived on the land, off the land. So when they're giving you all that Twilight shit, they're giving you our story, just like Rod and Emma say it. But like I said, Malcolm X's case ties to a whole, that opens a whole can of worms as to why there's all kind of political maneuverings going on to keep this shit hidden under the rug. And also, I want to say, according to Rod and what he told the elder, the Rod said Larry Hoover, Tookie Williams, what's the other guy name? Angel something, Angel Bay or something, and Dr. Malachi York are all free. They all got their papers and they're all free. And them four have gone to Colorado to meet up with Farrakhan, Rizza Islam, Dane Calloway, and obviously Rod Hayes makes 9. So if you ask me, that's the Sacred Council of 9, you know. Because I know on the Galactic Federation, you got the Council of 9, you got the Council of 24, and you got the Niburian Council. I'm talking about on our side. I'm not talking about them reptilians and whoever else. Yeah? Council of 9, Sacred Council of 9, yeah? The Council of 24, the 24 elders, yeah? And the Niburian Council who reports back to Nibiru, yeah? So when I heard that information yesterday, even though Rod didn't say it, I said, hold on. Yo, I reckon these men are the Sacred Council of 9. 4 kings and 4 priests and Rod Hayes. Go and check out the live for more on that, yeah? But he's saying that Larry Hoover, the reason why they cast him as a gangbanger and locked him up, you've probably seen it over social media, and ask yourself, why is Kanye and Drake doing a show for Larry Hoover, free Larry Hoover and shit? Because all them stars, yeah, have been given the information that, yo, if you're real about this shit, you need to get on this bandwagon. And I know a lot of us have been saying we think Kanye is a clone and all kind of stuff. And I do. Sometimes I feel like he's a clone. But then sometimes when I listen to man like Rod Hayes, he's saying, yo, Kanye's playing the fool to catch the fool. He's on our side. And he's a lot smarter than you think. And so is Drake, according to Rod Hayes. I can't confirm that. I'm just saying this is what's coming from these men. And he's saying that even things like Kanye was told to marry the Kardashians to expose their fucking witchcraft, the sorcery. But anyway, you can check that out for yourself and convince yourself, yeah? So Malcolm X's case will lead to a whole bunch of can of worms, and they don't want that smoke. So they're trying to keep that buried. I already mentioned Weinstein, Epstein, and how the media keeps all of them stories out, just like they did with Hunter Biden's story during the last US election. Okay, so the media or mainstream media, they actually work like lawyers. They're the lawyers for the cabal right now. They work for the cabal like how your lawyer will work for you if you was in a courtroom. Yeah, you don't have to say anything, you know. No, don't say anything. Rare. And he's giving you all the guides and instruction. This is the media's job right now. The people onto you, you know. Yo, do you know what? We're going to need another site because the people ain't buying it. People don't turn up to question time no more, you know. People don't even watch the news. There's no likes on YouTube for BBC. We're losing the minds of the people. Like, these are the go-betweens. They feed back to the cabal of what needs to be done because they're losing grip of the people's mind. They watch all the TV subscriptions and how many people are tuning into certain things and shit. If you look at the numbers now, the numbers are down when they're cracking these big psyop stories on BBC or Fox or CNN. Yo, the numbers are down. There's more numbers on fucking an Eminem video. Like, yeah, you get me? Like, there's more fucking Rihanna with her tits out or whatever. People want to see that. They don't want to, they've already seen through all this media shit. Even some of the dumbest of us, yeah, is at that stage where we're like, yo, I don't even watch the news. It's bullshit. I don't even know how the niggas is surviving. Yeah, it's all propaganda. Have you seen the recent Piers Morgan interview with Donald Trump where apparently it's just a normal interview? Yeah, Donald Trump said, okay, see you later, went through the door. This man edited the whole interview to make it look like Donald Trump got upset and stormed out the building. Yo, and it's all leaked out like fake news business. Like this is the whole media for you. That's their whole MO, modus operandus. You get me? So yeah, the galactic takeover of this media will soon be announced. Hold me to that, yeah? It will soon be announced and we will start being told on TV about who got executed and who did this and who did what. And a lot of people are going to be overwhelmed because it's all going to come out about the wonton soup and about all of the psyops and shit. It's going to have a lot of people feeling peak, and it's going to be a period where it's like a great tribulation because a lot of people are going to be resisting this truth. they're going to try and tell themselves this ain't fucking true. This is some conspiracy shit. Now the world's just turned into a massive conspiracy. And so at the same time, the cabal are going to be pushing and the galactic forces are going to be pushing. So if you're not in alignment with yourself, it's a time of great peril. A lot of people will perish in this time. One, the immune system has been compromised and weakened. Two, most people don't know how to fucking survive away from the system or grow their own food or fight. Half of these niggas that are calling themselves gangsters and shit, they're pussies to authority. They shitting themselves when they thinking about police and army and martial law. Do you understand? They ain't warriors. They ain't built for this. Yeah, so a lot of people are going to find themselves in a bad... If you're not making plans now or making networks now with people you can assist and who can assist you so you can have strength and numbers and that, yo, it's peak for you. You just want to think about a mortgage or paying off them debts or whatever, yo, that's up to you. I'm not saying don't think about stuff like that, but if that's all you want to think about, all this mundane shit, and you ain't giving no time to plan ahead, it's peak for you. Yeah, all people are going to find out what's been going on. Yeah, as I said, many will be overwhelmed, especially because of the 1 ton soup. All them people that took that shit, you understand? And also, I want to make note that by then, there will be more to speak about, because you've heard Bill Gates talking about, oh, the thing's not over and there's the next pandemic and all of this shit. So it's going to be a lot of tug of war. Yeah. Also, I noted down, I wanted to talk about, have you guys seen how all of them food plants burnt down in the United States and around the world? All these food storage places and food production plants have been burnt down. Just mysteriously, they're just burning down and shit. The same Rod Hayes, according to him, Rod Hayes says, listen, all of them places that burnt down, the galactic forces burnt them down because all them joints was fucking GMO joints. All the food coming from there had in all this GMO and nano shit that they putting into us. So now the galactic forces are starting to burn down all of them places where they giving us this poison food, man. And it really does make sense. Yeah, I can't exit out. You understand? Because it makes sense. Even Notre Dame, that was on the 5th of May when it happened. When was it? Was it 2020 or 2020? Well, anyway, Notre Dame, when it burnt down, that also was supposed to be one of the ships from the Galactic Forces that laced that joint. Because they got all types of skullduggery going on underground there with the paedophilia and the adrenochrome and the witchcraft. Yo, they laced that joint. Do you understand? According to Rod. Yeah. Yeah, so make note that how many times your newscasters will say, and tonight's news has been brought to you by Pfizer, or tonight's news has been brought to you by Johnson Johnson. Tonight's news has been brought to you by some other fucking big pharma company. The media is owned by big pharma and big tech. They're never going to go against the people who give them a wage. That's like you going against your boss when your boss pays you £2,000 every Friday. You're going to protect that £2,000. You ain't going to say shit about your boss, mate. So the media is never going to speak about Rupert Murdoch or any of these shady characters that own these 5 families that own the industry. They ain't never going to expose the agenda of these big pharma people or the corporates or none of that shit, because they're protecting their interests. That's like their lapdog. Do you understand? So people who say, oh, that can't be true, I've not seen it on the news. This is what people still say that to this day. Oh, well, how come it's not on the news then? Yo, when people say that to me, yeah, I just want to box people. I can't lie. I just want to, bang, box the geezer. How can you be saying that? Bullshit. They ain't here to tell us the truth. You understand? So, yeah, the nefarious media is funded by all the corporates. Government, big pharma, big tech, Hollywood, yeah. So the media protect all of their interests. Let's skip on to Elon Musk. Elon Musk has bought Twitter. The world's jumping around like this guy's Tony Stark, like he's going to save the world, like he's Jesus or something. Yeah. The only reason they've made this lapdog, Elon Musk, this theologian dude, yeah, go and buy Twitter is because they need the internet now to be biometric. So if they can get Elon Musk to buy Twitter and then announce, hold on, Twitter now is going to be biometric. You have to have an eye scan or a fingerprint and shit to come on our Twitter. That means the whole internet's going to go that way. because his ass is like America. Whatever he does, all the other fucking companies are gonna do. If he makes electric cars, yo, Toyota, Porsche, everybody else, yo, electric, it's switched because he said. So the things that he's doing is trends. So if he go and look in Twitter, use that word trending, yeah. So now he gone to Twitter and announced that he's gonna have this biometric shit to stop all of this internet fraud and stuff, which is a weak excuse. To stop internet fraud, we need to now need to make the internet biometric. So let's make Elon Musk buy Twitter, which is basically the most influential of them, if you want to talk about the type of people that use it. Because no disrespect, but common people use Instagram and Facebook, whereas Twitter's users is a bit more upscale than Facebook and your TikTok and your fucking, do you understand? It's more, people are more clued up about the geopolitical world and stuff. Facebook and Instagram is just a sharing pictures, scrolling, anything goes. But Twitter's very politicized. It's very political. There's a lot of political topics on there. There's a lot of political people that use it. So the people, the demographics of it is a bit different than IG or Facebook. So if you can get Musk to go and take over Twitter, yeah, and then introduce these biometric stuffs into Twitter, then that should tell you, bastard, we ain't got long left with the internet, because we're going to all have to use some kind of biometrics to get on this internet, yeah, just to use it. There's 7 people watching this. That means 5 people ain't even like the video. And this is what I'm talking about. People just want to consume. They don't want to understand what your role is in this thing. So you're telling me 7 people have been watching this Ross Clark video for near enough an hour, and you can't even say, you know what, let me go and put a like on this man's video so it can help him with the algorithm so it can reach more people. And this is what's killing black people. This mental, lazy, lethargic kind of thinking, dragging yourself from day to day. People like that ain't gonna make it, man. Y'all niggas need to sharpen up. I'm telling you this from love. You need to fucking pay attention, man. Because we out here trying to liberate people. And people is just taking this like it's some kind of fucking joke thing, like it's some lay thing. Do you understand? If 7 people are watching, 7 people supposed to come in, you say, yo, salam, or rahubat, or hello. That's your fucking hello by just doing that. Do you understand? Or sharing the bastard. You understand? And this is why sometimes I get frustrated. I'm like, yo, what kind of humans am I dealing with here? Because if it's me, I like people's videos before I've even watched it. Because I know what it means to his channel for him to have a like on there so that he can beat this AI shit. You understand? This robot. Do you understand? So y'all have to pay more attention, man. Y'all have to be sharper, man. Because we out here on some lethargic shit. Like dragging ourselves to understanding and dragging. Yo, come on, it's more to it than this, man. And it's not because I'm looking for likes. It's because there's people that need this fucking food here, man. They need this shit in their system. They need people like you to push it, to put it on Telegram, to put a like on it, to put a fucking comment on it, to share it in your families. Do you understand? If you can't do that, then really you can't do nothing for a man like me. You can't do nothing for us. Do you understand? Because we have a responsibility to you as speakers, as leaders. But you also have a fucking responsibility to your leaders, to protect them, to push them, to support you. That's your responsibility. Do you understand? So pay a little more attention, guys. Because man shouldn't have to be saying that at this point. You understand? Loads of people say it. Every time a black man's doing it, he has to beg people to like his shit. What the fuck is that about, man? How we don't support each other more? Crazy shit. Anyway, let's go on. End of rant, yeah? So yeah, Rod also said Putin is a demon and he's a reptilian. And he says Putin is going to get defeated and removed, but Russia's not. This is interesting to me. He says, yo, just because Russia stood up to this cabal, Russia's going to prosper, but not Putin. Putin is one of them. He's an actor, yeah? And even though he's kicked off and kind of upset the apple cart, he's still getting removed, mate. He's gonna gone. And it's funny because now Rod's saying this. Last week they had it on Graviton or Weon or one of them that Putin's got cancer, yeah, and he's dying. And so he's already picked the next guy after him who's one of his closest security, and he's gonna look after Russia while Putin's under the knife having this surgery. He's having to have surgery operation for this cancer thing, yeah. So it's funny that's happened a week ago. And Rod's let this off now last night, how, yo, Putin's going to be removed and all of this shit. Yo, it looks like it's already in play. Yeah? So, yeah, in Genesis 3:22, yeah, it says, and now the man has become like one of us. Yeah, that's what God, the God who's saying that is Enlil, the jealous God. He's saying, hold on, Enki done fucked up. Because now these humans are like gods. These niggas, his consciousness has gone up. So if you turn to Genesis 3:22, this is why God's saying that. Hold on, now the man has become like one of us, a God, because he knows the difference between good and evil. When he wasn't, we didn't want him to know all this kind of not consciousness. We just wanted him to be a drone, so we could use him to mine gold and that. You understand what I'm saying? And then in the Babel incident, I think this is Genesis 10:6. Start from Genesis 10:6, and the Babel incident, God and Leal again. He says, "Yo, go down there and stop these man. If you don't stop them, there's nothing that they won't be able to do." The reason I've made these 2 points is because we've got to understand as human beings. From the moment they made us like them, we became a whole problem for them. Like we're just as capable as them. So it's not just a case of, I know religions made us think God can just click his fingers and puff the magic dragon and do anything. But the reason why they didn't want to make us like them is because of what's happening today. Like they can't just come in and do what they want, you know. Like these Anunnaki can be blocked and stuff by humans. Humans have UFO technology now. Half of these UFOs down here that you see in the skies and stuff, that's not alien tech. That's us, that's ours. It might not be in society, but that's humans that are running them TR-3B Astras and the Aurora crafts and all these different crafts. Yo, it's not just aliens, you know. So, yo, the aliens are finding us a formidable force. Now, I don't want you to think, hold on, that means humans can defeat the Anunnaki. And no, it's not going to be like that. But what I'm saying, it's not as easy as you think. This is the whole point as to why, yo, it's dangerous to give humans this kind of consciousness. You're making a dangerous creature. If we give them that power where they're near enough on our level, we're going to have to keep them away from knowing that they're really just like us. Do you understand? So we're a formidable force right now when you're talking about mankind. Remember, mankind and humans is not the, and man is not the same. But just think of mankind with his nuclear weapons, with his UFO reverse anti-gravity technology, with all these satellite HARP, chemtrails, CERN. Yo, this is a real formidable battle on their hands that the Anunnaki have now that the planet's unraveled into, it's got this bad. Yeah. And I want to make people know as well, this is from Rod as well, but I want to break it down because it ties into what we've spoke about in our lectures, specifically about Anu and the Anunnaki. This Earth is what's called a seed planet. You know what that means? That means this Earth, yeah, as a seed planet, is used to take beings into other constellations. That's why there's so much different DNAs and beings here, because it's like a nursery, it's like a training school. So certain beings are sanctioned to end up in different constellations. Like they might take a bunch of beings from here to Orion. Here's the training. Do you understand what I'm saying? Here's a seed planet. Yeah, and that links into when you hear me talking about Project Blue Rock, when I'm speaking about in that live the Anunnaki dissected and the kingdom of Anu. Yeah, we start speaking about this stuff. How there was a whole, after the war, an agreement to make Earth kind of like a seed planet. And out of all the seed planets, this is the most important one. You understand what I'm saying? And like I said, you have to have permission to take certain beings to certain different constellations. The reptilians were moving humans off planet with no paperwork. They was just snatching man, yeah, and taking them to be sex slaves or taking them to Nyama's food or to be miners, whatever. But they never had the permission to do that. Do you see what I'm saying? So this is a seed planet, yeah, where certain beings are taken to other constellations. This is a school for deities where many of us, or I should say a few of us, will become Anunnakis in different constellations. Do you understand that? We are in training now to run your own constellation, to run your own planet. How about that? You ever thought about that? Yeah. Some of you will run whole constellations. Some of you might just have one planet. Some of you won't at all. You won't run shit. You understand what I'm saying? But that's the reality of what Earth is. Earth is a seed planet. It's a school. It's a temporary planet for a lot of beings where they go on to higher worlds. Yeah, they go on to run their own world. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what we mean when we talk about Project Blue Rock and how 23 different species of aliens signed up for the project and put their DNA into the earth. That's why this is one of the few planets that have so many different beings on it, so many different types of humans. You understand? Most planet will just have black people or white folk or Indian folk, or people just look one way, or maybe they might have three. They got this, and this. Yeah, that's the whole planet when it comes to the humanoids. Our planet got all types of humans from all over the joint. You understand? Because we a seed planet. Yeah, so I wanted to say that because Rod said that last night, and as soon as he said that, it resonated with me talking about Project Blue Rock. Yeah. And also Mentalect says the same things. If any of you guys have ever watched Mentalect, another good channel. Yeah, so a lot of us would go on to be gods of other worlds, deities and other. You become Netru, you become Elohims, you become Anunnakis if you are found worthy and you do what's needed during your time now. Do you understand? Some of us will go to lower worlds. And so system lords, like I said, some of us will become system lords where you're not in control of just one planet. You could be in control of the whole of Orion, shit like that. You understand? Like Amun-Ra. Because when we speak about these deities, they're not really deities, you know. They're just like us. But they ascended so high, you look at them like some type of deity. You understand? Because they are, just like we say, we're from an older evolutionary cycle than the beings on the planet Earth. They're from an older evolutionary cycle, even than us black people. So you understand? So they're far more advanced in their ascension, in their technology, in their spirituality, in their medicine. Do you understand? You're talking millions and billions of years ahead. Yeah? But so basically when they came here, all they did is speed up the process. We would have reached the same place they reached. But that would have probably took us like some 20, 40, 50 billion years to reach where they are. So they was like, yo, let's just speed it up. Let's just add chromosomes from our own DNA and jump the gun. You understand? That's why scientists down here started saying, yo, the missing link. I feel like somebody came down here and messed around with the gene pool and sped shit up. Yeah? And overnight, we just had Homo sapien. Like, I remember this from school. They was telling us this in school. Yeah? They still say this. Talking about they're looking for the missing link, the Yeti. Because Darwin's evolution, if that's correct, that means there's supposed to be monkeys that don't look like monkeys. They look like they're just turning into human. We're supposed to find corpses of these in-between animals. That's in between the evolutionary. How come there's no in-between animals? We never found them. Like, it looks a bit like a monkey, but it don't look like a monkey. Oh, because it's turned into a human. All this stuff they told us, there's no evidence for it. It's lies. So, where am I? The blue planet. Yeah, seed planet. This nursery, God, school, system, lords, ascension. Yeah, so it's all to do with ascension and reincarnation. Remember what I said in previous lives, how the reptilians don't teach their subjects how to ascend. They vamp down on them and use them as a host so they can take all their energy and stuff. They ain't interested about you knowing how to ascend, because then their food's gone. Because remember, they can only go to the sixth density, either 6th or 7th. They can't go past there into the like real heavens. They're not allowed. They're blocked. They don't have the frequency to even enter there. They've been trying for yonks to find a way to enter into Anu's realm. They can't come up there. You understand? So what they do is vamp down on people. They don't teach their people how to ascend. They teach how to sacrifice some virgins and feed their ass. So this reality that we're in, we've spoken the other life. Oh, I've got so much lives. What's it called? The theory of everything. How we're in a computer simulated reality. We mentioned it briefly at the start. Now what happened is beings that know how this whole thing works decided with their free will, we want to have the experience where we just rebel and shit. We don't want to listen to no one. We want to rebel and run this shit for ourselves. So we gonna rebel and run this shit for ourselves. And like I said, that came from our own shadows, our own mental projections. So now they came in and hacked the reality. And like I said, after the net was cast, because this war's been going on for a very long time, it's only coming to an end now. When the net was cast, they used that net against us and trapped us in the 3D with them. So we can no longer explore the 4th and the 5th and the 6th and the 7th density and ascend. We all trapped in this 3D and keep recycling back down to this bitch. Unless you make a breakthrough. Some people do make a breakthrough. But most people, generally speaking, let's say 7 out of 10, them niggas is coming back here. Yeah, they got a constant supply of this loosh because they just recycling souls, recycling people and soul farming and shit, man. And people think it's a joke. But now we're on critical mass, they're shitting themselves because once we hit critical mass, all the rest people who didn't wake up, that's their ass. Because we don't need y'all niggas no more. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's how I feel. We only need 144,000 people to really fucking go against this system. Yeah? And when I say go against this system, I mean break from the corporate. Yeah? Stop voting. Yeah? Stop going to work. Yeah? Create your own work. Go to work until you can find a way to create your own work. I mean it like that. I don't mean starve yourself, but I mean what I say. Every day you go to work, you keeping this system in power. This system is dead. It's already ended. There has not been a American government since 2017. The American government went bankrupt in 2017 and it stopped. And the doors are shut and the fucking borders are closed. You can phone up the White House at certain points. It's closed. Do you understand? There's no American government. It's a sham government. They want you to think it's still running. It's not running. Let me tell you how. This is Rod again. America can't even get a loan. They are surviving day to day. You go into work, keep them there. How about that? You keeping them there. You understand? You using BBC, you keep BBC in business. Us using Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, we're keeping this shit afloat. We don't even know it. We wake up and go straight on it. Last thing at night, we're straight on it. We're not on it to do more time, do this. We're on it just to fuck about. Look at girls, scroll, like, gossip, blah, blah. You know what I mean? What celebrities? We're keeping this system afloat. And we don't even know it. Do you understand? And that's why I get frustrated sometimes. I'm like, yo, when is this going to just done? When are people just going to say, listen, this is enough? Yeah? Because the cost of living is gone mad right now. People are suffering, man. Mental health is gone mad right now. People are suffering domestic abuse, which is similar to hostage business. That's some ugly shit, domestic abuse. That shit is skyrocketed right now. Come on. When is this going to stop? But people, oh yeah, I'm just going to go work. You paying mortgage, you paying the banks, you paying your fines, debts. All that shit is keeping this system afloat. Because there's no money in this system. So they raping your money. They putting the prices up to get money from you because they can't afford nothing. They live in day to day. From America to whoever government, they live in day to day. It's finished for them. But we keep them in power. So yeah, Russia is going to do well. It's going to do well in the end after Putin's gone. Just because of them upsetting the apple cart. Because it's not just Putin doing what he wants. He had to do that shit because Russia's, they pissed. Remember this Ukraine shit? Like I've said, Rod said, this ain't new. This shit's about 9-10 years old. They've been doing this shit for the last 10 years and set it up to what it is now. It's nothing new about this war. So we're in the quickening, which means this thing gonna be quick, man. Yo, 2020 was 2 years ago, nearly 3 years ago now. Do you understand? This thing gonna happen quick, but it's gonna be so harsh, this quickening, going to 2030 and the madness that happens from now to 2030. And I really believe from my research that next year starts the 7 years of tribulation. Because according to Revelation, they give you the number 7. 7 years. That's how we're gonna suffer. People on the planet Earth are going to wish they were dead. They're just going to wake up and there's no will to live no more. I feel like some people are already got there. There's people like that now in 2022. They don't want to fucking live no more. They depressed as hell. They fucking, they can't get themselves out the rut. There's nothing to live for. Yeah, there's even children, youths, young girls that feel like that. Hold on, the world's fucked up. My education's fucked up. It's over for me. I'm depressed now. At 17, I'm going to have to go and seek a shrink. Loads of people like that. Do you understand? This is what was meant about this great tribulation and how it's going to get worse and worse and worse and worse for 7 years going up. A lot of people, maybe even 2/3, will not make it. They will die, man. And people think this is a gas thing, like it's just some kind of fucking snake oil thing. It's not, man. It's all around you. All you have to do is pay attention, man. Yeah, because that's the end goal, 2030. Not for them. For us, The galactic forces want these motherfuckers gone by 2030. That's the deadline. By 2030, them motherfuckers need to be off the surface. We don't want them there. These recalcitrant, negative, reptilian beings like this over for them. They ain't got no place on the planet no more. This is an important planet. We need this shit. That's what's going on here. So, like I said yesterday briefly, I'll end on this. My name is San. S-A-N, that's it. I'm an assistant of Tahuti. I come into this realm and other realms anytime the God consciousness comes in this realm, what you call Christ consciousness. So every time the Christ consciousness has been on earth, I've been here. Do you understand? When Christ consciousness came down in fucking Mexico, in the temple of Palenque with Lord Pacal, nigga, I was there. When it came down with Osiris in Kemet, nigga, I was fucking there. Do you understand? When it came down with Joshua, nigga, I was there. When it came down with Akhenaten and King Tut, nigga, I was there. And now it's coming these last days, nigga, I'm here. My name is Sanchez. Do you understand what I'm saying? And so from all these lives, I've carried book writing with me. It's not something I really had to put a lot of effort into learn how to write a book. Nigga, I've been writing books in many different lifetimes. So I brought them memories with me. And that's why I can conjure up Treasures in the Sun and Coronation and Kobe. It's nothing. That's like me writing a song. Do you understand? Don't get me wrong. It's not easy, but I'm just using a figurative speech. You get me? You get what I'm saying? So back in the day, in my first incarnation, I was a scribe. Yeah, in the temple of Tahuti, I was a scribe. Yeah, in Hermopolis. Yeah, which is in our language the city of Kemenu, which is called the city of 8. Yeah, so I was a scribe and a seer and a master teacher. Yeah, and that's why a lot of us now in this realm, we are returned masters. We are Christed ones. I'm not saying I am Jesus Christ. Yeah, because Jesus Christ ain't even real anyway. But I'm saying we're the Christed ones. We're the Messiahs that came in many different lifetimes, in many different parts of the earth. And we've come back now, like we promised we'll come back in the end to do this job. Yeah, some of us will be more well known than others. Some of us will be unknown. But all of us are contributing to this greater good to overturn this demiurge. All of it counts. Yeah. From Christed ones, we become ascended masters and we earn the right to leave this realm. A lot of us who's come here to help, we don't even come from here anyway. So we're not going to be recycled here. I'm not from here. Do you understand what I'm saying? And then a lot of people will recognize it. I've had it for my life. Oh, hold on. You're really intelligent, aren't you? Oh, your handwriting. And people look at you like you're fucking, hold on, you're not from here or something. You're supposed to be dumb. Your pants supposed to be like sagging halfway down your bum. You're supposed to talk slurred and common. You're not supposed to be well spoken like this. You understand? Like, it's crazy. But yeah, we are called to planets when it's peak for planets. You understand? We're dragon slayers. We only come to planets when it's peak for your planet. So a lot of us have harsh natures because we don't fucking want to be here. We come here because we have to be here. It's like the army. The army don't want to be in Iraq. Most of them soldiers are like, I want to go the fuck home. I don't want to be here, but I have to be here. So that's how we feel here as soldiers in the field. Yo, I'd love to be able to get my job done and fuck off and not be here. But now, in this incarnation, I have children, I have family, mum, everybody I love. But ultimately, when they're gone, I don't want to come back here. I don't want to be here. Here is terrible. No disrespect to the earth, yeah? Because I love all of the creation, yeah? But this is what I'm saying, yeah? So a lot of us have got harsh natures. A lot of us, you'll find we smoke. We smoke because we have to cope with this fucked up world, yeah? A lot of us will be on drugs, real fucking drugs. You think like Jimi Hendrix and all these Jill Scott Heron and these niggas was on drugs. They had to have a coping mechanism just to be here in this alien planet. To us, this is alien. You're the fucking aliens out here. Do you understand? Earthlings. This is some alien shit. Yeah, there's no compassion here. There's no real love here. There's no real truth. Everything's deceit. People do shit for themselves. You understand? There's no unity here. There's no togetherness. People bought into this simulation. You really think you're you. You understand? You really think you're real. Nigga, you a fucking a hologram. Crazy out here. Yeah? So we have harsh natures. We swear a lot. Rod Hayes is worse than me. I thought I was bad with the swearing. I told my mom, you speaking about me swearing. My man swears like 10 times more than me. You get me? Like some drink, yeah? Some of us look rough, man, because we ain't really with what's going on here. We've only come here for one purpose. Each of us have got a purpose for why we're here. Some of you watching may be Christed ones. Some of you watching may be light workers and golden children yourself, in your own family, in your own circles, in your own workplace, wherever. Do you understand what I'm saying? So yeah, we're multi-dimensional beings, but when we come here, we have one purpose, and the purpose that was assigned to us. And once our purpose is done, we get to leave this planet. If the purpose is not done, then we do reincarnate until the fucking job's done. Do you understand? So my whole thing was written words. Like, y'all like these lives, you like to hear me speak and stuff, but let me tell you this, my books are 10 times powerfuler than me speaking on a camera. Yeah, because the written word, the pen is mightier than the sword. Put it this way, the books that I've created, nobody can't uncreate them. They're in Mother Earth's genetic memory bank. She's going to remember them and she's going to throw them up to other people 1,000, 2,000 years from now. There was a guy who went by the name Jedefre Memnon who wrote this book about the times he was in and about the stuff that he learned about this realm in the dread time of the Great Awakening. You know, we in history right now. We are a part of history if we choose to be a part of history. You can choose to be a statistic if you want, where you're not a part of history, or you can choose to be a part of history. Okay? So I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to start going through the comments to see if y'all left anything that needs me to clarify. If not, I'm going to continue smoking my weed and go and eat some food, man. I thought, let me do this before I eat. Stuff like this, you need to do it without a full belly. Once your belly's full, it kind of deads your spirituality a bit. I didn't starve myself. I just thought, let me eat light and then I'll eat my dinner later. So let's see, man. I hope y'all guys got some stuff on here, yeah? So this is 7 Cap Sun Moon. Shout out. We're good, and Will, that you are too. Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm in gratitude. Shout out Celestial Samurai. Could you do a video explaining Kemetic Genesis? That's a good one. Yeah, I'll do that. Who was the creator and which deities came from it? Okay, I'll do that. Yo, peace to John Paul, Wagwan Afro. Miss M, yo, I haven't seen Miss M before, but shout out to Miss M. Ragging Dad, my bad, bro. Yo, shout out Ragging Dad anyway. Shout out Julie Rose, always showing love. YouTube tweaking the numbers. YouTube's doing a whole bunch of shit, man. They in bed with Satan, innit? We all know this. And that's Miss M, yeah? Putin is with the Swiss, but he's selling out his own people. Putin only has his own interests at heart. Putin never gave a shit about Russian people. Look how he has them. You understand? So he uses them as like leverage. He can use his own people as leverage to get what he wants, and because all he's bent on. Remember, they asked him what was the worst atrocity in the 20th century, and look at all the shit that's happened in the 20th century from all types. Come on, atrocities. And he said on camera, listen, the worst thing that happened in 2020 was the breakup of the Soviet Union. So just like Saddam wanted to remake Babylon from Iraq, he wanted to remake Babylon. He wanted to be like Nimrod, like Nebuchadnezzar. He thought, yo, we can bring this shit back. We got alien technology under these step pyramid ziggurats and shit. Yo, we're going to bring this shit the fuck back. You understand? We're going to rebel against the West and everything. Yo, we're the shit. So his Ba'ath Party was like a Nazi party for the Arabs or for the Iraqis. That's like a Iraqi Nazi party. And it's the same with Putin, even though he's talking about Ukraine and Nazis and whatever. Yeah, but your Russian thing is just the same thing, but in a Russian version. That's like a Russian Nazi thing, that KGB thing. So he ain't never had his people's best interests at heart. And I kept telling people, Putin was cloned in 2018. Yeah, and I don't even think that's the first time he was cloned. This guy's been cloned like 10, 12 times. Don't believe a word I'm saying, just like Baba says. Go and check it out and convince yourself, yeah? And look at all his pictures from the time he came into office till now. There's about 10 Putins, man. And the latest time was 2018 when he went missing for a month. Around Christmas. You remember when them pyramids was floating around the Pentagon? I think in 2018, one came over the Putin's Red Square. Yeah, and then in, was it 2020, it came over the Pentagon and shut down the US for Christmas and shit that. Or Congress, shut down Congress for Christmas, then ran off like this cute fucking Gaoud thing, because that's Gaoud technology, them floating triangles. And then Gaouds ain't nothing nice. They like baby Anunnakis. Where I say babies, because the ways, they're a bit more, they're not as refined as the Anunnakis. They got some like ego thing going on. They don't really give a shit about humans. They just treat us harshly. I'm talking about Ra and all of them too. For that question you were speaking about, the Egyptian creation story. Yeah, because the gods of Egypt got switched from the original Anunnaki into this, what today we're calling Neteru. Some of them are Anunnakis and some of them are Gauds. And we're not told this. A lot of us just use this word Neteru. And we don't know that some of these Neteru is evil. Do you understand? Some of these Neterus was going against the grain, man. They was fucking enemies of humans. You understand? And in them Gauds, they further break down because the Gauds, they've got a group of them who don't like how the Gauds go on. So they call themselves Kentokra, meaning they are against Ra and how Ra goes on with his disagreeable ways, and they're against him. So you got like Ma'at, Aset, Asaru, Haru, Konsu, Tahuti. These are like Kentokras. So they're more like the Anunnakis, the original Anunnakis. And remember, Ra himself is the son of Anu, the Most High. That Anu had to make a treaty with a certain group of reptilians, yeah, water being reptilians, yeah, and so Ra's mother, Anu, married her to seal the treaty. Down here, we do treaties by signing paper. Up there, we do treaties by, yo, give me one of your women, and I'll give you one of mine. Okay, it's a deal, respect, we no more fighting, yeah. Same principle, but they don't use paper and pen. They use women. Yo, give me that queen there, and you can have her. Cheers, mate. That's how they do it. So Anu married one of these reptilian beings, yeah, and so one of these Gauds. So when he married the Gaud, so Ra is half Gaud, reptilian, and half Anunnaki, and that's why Ra, that word, is short for Razael, which is the real name of his father, Anu. So that's why they call him Ra, because he's the son of Razael, or the Anu right now. But Ra was disagreeable, not because his dad was Anu. He's disagreeable. He's treating humans all messed up, yeah? And that's why Anu sent Anunnaki to check Ra and to check these Gaud in Kemet. And that's why that Gaud element had to be taken out. And that's why if you study history like we've done in our books, Treasures in the Sand, Ra's name is only used as Ra. Because remember, Ra and Amun-Ra is not the same deity. Do you understand? But when I do that live for you, I'll explain that. It's too much to explain now. But Ra is not Amun-Ra. Do you understand what I'm saying? So Ra was going on disagreeable. He was doing like the reptilians and taking humans off planet to go and work on his own planets in Orion and shit, because they got a planet Heliopolis in Orion. Do you understand? In Orion's belt, they got many Gaud planets. Yeah? So he was, and they showed this to you in the film Stargate. If you go and watch Stargate again, everything I'm saying now, you'll see it in the movie. Like, it's not a joke thing. So Ra and them had to be checked, and that's why the Gaud Empire fell. And the ones that were good, the Kentokras, they were taken up, they ascended. And so they are with the Anunnaki. We're talking Asaru and Haru and Tahuti, Isis, Hathor, all of these, they're Kentokras. You understand? They was against Ra and them, but we'll explain that on another live. Or if you don't want to wait, you can go on the Young Elders page and keep scrolling down through these whole heap of videos that he's got till you get to the bottom, and it will have about 6 videos or maybe 7 speaking about all of that Egypt shit, about these Gauds from Ra going all the way to how they trapped Isis and Osiris in these canopic jars, and they had them in these US government had them trapped in these fucking jars for a whole heap of time because they found them. You know, when they go and dig up these mummies and stuff, after all this stuff with Ra, and they was fighting against Ra, and Ra fighting against them, they lost that war, Isis and them. So Ra and them trapped them in canopic jars and left them where they were discovered by these Tamahus and shit. And even Sutuk was trapped in one of these jars. And with Sutuk's one, they went and opened the rascal thing. And so the person who opened the jar, Sutuk took his avatar, a white man. So a lot of these Gauds, they still on fucking Earth all the way up to the 20th century, you know, walking around in different bodies. Who was one again? Was it Sitchin? Was it fucking Sitchin? I can't confirm it for you. I'll try and find out again. But One of these guys was Sutuk, man walking out, man that we know from history, walking around as Sutuk and that, you know, we don't even know. It's a mad thing. So we'll do a live to explain a bit more about how these Gauds came down into Egypt and took the thing over. And this was only 12,000 years ago. You see, when you go to Genesis 6, verses 1 to 7, and it says, and the sons of God, yeah, came down unto the fell from heaven. There were giants on the earth them days, and the sons of God came down onto the earth, descended to the earth, and they found the daughters of men attractive, and they went into them and had picnic with these. That is referring to, is not just referring to one type of alien. So he's talking about Greys, Pleiadians, Reptilians, fucking, who else we're talking? Andromedans, Zeta Reticulans, Gauds, like Ra and them. That's only 11,000, 12,000 years old. Do you understand what I'm saying? They took that shit over and started going on a certain type of way and trying to sabotage what the Anunnaki had left there. So they had to be checked, and that's why the Gaud Empire in Egypt fell. That's why if you look at the pharaohs' names, they always use their gods' names in their name. So if they worship Amun, yeah, he's going to be Amunhotep, yeah. If he worship Amun, he might have Tut and Amun. If the god changes, then the name has to change. So if they change to Atun worship, now it's not Tutankhamun no more, it's Tut and Atun. Do you understand? After they killed his dad, they changed it back. They changed the Atun back to Amun. That was I and Horemheb. Remember, King Tut's only 9. So they told him, yo, after what happened with your dad, it's better you change back your name to the god Amun, you know. This 9-year-old, he's none the wiser. So other people are making decisions for him. Do you see what I'm saying? But I say all that to say, you will find the name of the gods in each of these pharaohs' names. So if you check the 4th dynasty, yeah, like my name, Jedef Ra, or Jedef Re. Re and Ra is the same. So Jedef Ra. So his god, who he worshipped, the Khufu's son in the 4th dynasty, he worshipped Ra. You might say, well, if Ra's disagreeable, why are you using a disagreeable name? A name can't be disagreeable or agreeable. Jedefre means enduring, like the god what? Ra. That's all it means. It don't mean I worship Ra. I use it because he's an obscure pharaoh and I wanted a name that nobody ain't ever heard. You understand? I wanted a book name that nobody ain't never heard. So when I came across Jedefre and his story as the son of Khufu that no one knows about, we only know about Khafre and Menkore. Yeah? Well, Khafre and Raya Hotep. Menkore is the son of Khafre. So Menkore is Khufu's grandson. But nobody really knows about Jedefre because after Khufu, he only reigned for 8 years. And because he fell out with his father, he didn't build a pyramid there on the Giza Plateau. He went way up north to Abu Rawash and built a black pyramid up there. But the Arabs smashed that shit up. So nobody don't know who the hell this nigger is. That's the only reason why I used his name. Do you understand? But back to what I was saying, Jedef Ra means that him, Jedef Ra, he was worshipping Ra. Do you understand what I'm saying? So they would, after the 4th dynasty, all of a sudden the name Ra stops being used. Nobody ain't using that name no more. All the names are changed to like Pepi II. Yeah, you had one in the 5th and 6th dynasty who used Ra's name, who was Merenre, who came in between the two Pepes, if I remember right. And I think he's, is it 5th? 6th dynasty. You understand? So the names changed. They went away from that. Yeah, and that's because the Gaud Empire fell and they went back to the worship of the real deities, which is Anu. And that's the city of Anu in Heliopolis. And when you're talking about who was the creator god at that specific point to kickstart Egypt was Atum. Yeah, with the M at the end. Atum. Yeah, he was the one that landed in the Ben on the mound in the Nile Valley. You understand? And he kick-started Kemet. But we'll get to that in another live. I don't think there's no more questions. Yeah, we all need to understand that. This is Miss M. We all need to understand that. And there's a reason why they only take you back so far with Egypt. They only take you to Menes. Menes was not the first pharaoh of Kemet. You can say he's the first pharaoh of the dynastic Egypt or dynastic Kemet, but there was a Kemet before dynastic Kemet. That dynastic pharaohs always speak about this civilization that was before them. They're talking about their own ancestors. They're talking about the Kushite Empire or Old Man Kush or Tarseti, that is the Sudan. That's why nowadays when they keep testing these Egyptian mummies, they say, oh, we're surprised. This is a Nubian, which means a Tarsetian, which means a Kushite, because they was the ruling class of Kemet. So all of Kemet's nobility and ruling class was Kushites up to a certain point till we get to the 19th dynasty with Ramesses and the shit changes up. Do you understand what I'm saying? Same for the army. Yeah, they don't tell us this. They don't tell us about the proto-dynastic kings who was before Menes, yeah, who came from Kutstul, which is right on the border of Egypt and Sudan. So it's way further south, south of them Thebes and every, more or less Sudan. And right on the border, they found a whole burial complex similar to the one in Nekhen, yeah, which is the tombs of these pharaohs, yeah, were better than the tombs of the pharaohs in the first and second dynasty. So that means, hold on, these niggas was important. And they had all the motifs. Motifs means all the symbols that the pharaohs had in Egypt to say, yo, I got this crown, I got this stuff, I got this stuff, I got the Serek. The Serek is Horus in the little rectangle, which says this man is the pharaoh. He's running shit. Yeah. So these niggas was pharaohs. Yo, cover that up. We don't want to talk about this shit. Cover that up. You know what? Let's build a dam and flood out this whole fucking area. So we bury all these temples and bury all this evidence. This is older than Sumerian shit. This is going to show us that Sumerian story they're giving us, the white folk sitting in them, that's bullshit. Yeah? Because they're trying to tell you that Sumeria is older than Egypt. When we're trying to tell you Sumeria was Egypt. They snatched up some niggas out the Nile Valley. Go into your Bible, Genesis 2, start with verse 9 and read all the way to verse 15. Yeah? We can have a debate with any one of them, but we don't want to because we leave them to debate themselves. But it tells you, and the man was taken from the Nile Valley. It tells you the Nile Valley ran through Egypt and Kush, right there in the white man's Bible. And then it goes on to tell you that, well, God took the man and woman that he just spoke about in the Nile Valley and put them in the garden, which is the Eden, which is in Sumeria. So therefore, the Sumerians are black folk, because God snatched them up out of the Nile Valley that he just spoke about. The first nations that he spoke about in the book is the Egypt and Ethiopia. You might as well just say Kush. So he snatched up some Kushites and chucked them in the Sumerian Eden. Yeah? So the Sumerians are Rasklar Egyptians. It's the same difference. They trying to tell you some next story. Yeah. So I hope that updates you on what's going on, man, in this bloody globe. I hope I've covered everything. I think I have. I left out a bit because I thought I was just dragging. Yeah. Sagittarius people ran in it, so I left out a couple notes. But basically I covered what I wanted to cover, man. And also, just like we're a problem for the system, because you got Assange, Snowden, McAfee, them three names there, along with your Epstein, Weinstein, Ghislaine Maxwell. Yo, do you know how much shit is leaking out the media because of them names that I've just called? Yeah? And remember, they're getting it from both sides because Snowden's a threat. Yeah? They've had to, whether McAfee's dead or not, there's a lot of shit that came out with him that's still coming out now. There's a lot of stuff with Julian Assange. Remember, all these niggas have got Killman switch. That means from the time they get snatched up, there's people that have got, okay, let's leak everything out because they've got him, yeah? So he says, that's like me telling you guys, yo, don't post none of these lives. And if you see me get snatched up, post them all out and we just spill the beans on everyone. So all these niggas have got dead man switch. There's even more, but they're the main ones that I've called. So they getting it from everywhere. Just like we getting it from everywhere. Don't get it twisted. The other side, they getting it from everywhere too. They don't know, we're doing better than them. Put it that way. They saving face. They actors. So they can come on TV and look normal. But they not normal right now. Everything is of utmost urgency for them. Like I said, they surviving day to day. What else did I miss? Hold on. Yeah, when you hear about the Scottish Rites of Freemasonry, them niggas came over on the Plymouth. Them niggas came over first with the Conquistadors. The Conquistadors was the Scottish Rites of Freemasonry and shit. They brought that shit into America, yeah? And when you're talking about Masonry, that started with Isis and Horus, yeah? And that's why the first Masons were known as Mummy's boys, just like Rod says. And that's why you say, ma, son, or Masons or mum's son. You're dealing with an ISIS thing. You understand? A lot of people don't even know that. But these Scottish rites, they came in with the Plymouth Rock. That's why Malcolm says that great speech that he made about we didn't land on Plymouth Rock landed on us. And Rod Hayes cleared that up for me, because when he unpacked it, he makes you understand that white people's claim to America, they make this, imagine this, they say that America, our land, crashed into their ship. They don't say it like, okay, our ship crashed into America. They say your land crashed into our ship. So because of that, we're claiming it with admiralty law. Do you understand? Your ship, Plymouth Rock, crashed into us. Yeah, like the fucking rock's moving or something. Yeah, and come with this twisted, distorted. Remember, everything signed contracts and stuff. I can't go into the details of this Moorish stuff. You're gonna have to go and listen to Rod, and Tariq Bey and all of them geezers, because that's their area. They can bust up these records for you to show you, yo, this ain't no joke thing. This is for real. I would just be talking gibberish if I tried to give you the information what they just relayed. So I'll direct you back to them. But basically, that's what he's saying. And he's saying what I told you here, how these people use murder as their weapon. That's their main weapon, murder, because you're not allowed to murder no one here. That's the only sin, you know, not to infringe on anybody else's experience. Fuck religion, take religion out of it. Sin is to infringe on somebody else's experience. You're infringing on their experience. That's a fucking sin. That's the main sin down here. Do you understand? So from you kill a person, you can just walk up to someone and wipe them out and take their life. You're a demon, rude boy. You breaking all the laws. Do you understand? So that's this. They're good. They're happy, even though they know they're only gonna have 6,000 years. When they were told, the reptilians told them, "Yo, you'll only have 6,000 years, but if you do it, you'll be the ones. You have everything because you ain't got shit. So if you want shit, there's no blessing for you. You're gonna have to take shit." They even got this in the Bible when they're telling you about Canaan, how he ain't got no blessing from God. So he gonna have to take from his brothers and shit. Otherwise, he's gonna be the slave of his brothers forever. And remember, like Rod saying, we already knew this piece, that when these white folks, these Mzungu came over to America, they already had slaves, not black people. They had white slaves. They had slaves. Do you understand? But what they did when they seen the opportunity, they said, yo, let's just, these slaves, Slavics and all these different breeds, let's just call all of us white, yeah, white people, yeah, and let's pass the Dawes Act. And now all these indigenous, let's just call them black people. And now we can surround roles and claim this fucking land and all these castles and everything and make up the, yo, it's crazy. It's crazy, yeah? But Rod and them can give you more on that. Also, El Taj Tariq Bey, Dr. Malachi York, they speak into these things on the next level. Dr. York, who I just mentioned, also, I'm glad that man like Rod Hayes is here to show you guys that I never left Dr. York. I've been riding with Dr. York all the time. I didn't listen to none of that shit that they were saying about him. I took it on the chin. Even when I didn't know what to say, I took it on the chin. I was like, that man couldn't have done what they fucking said. There's no way. I know this work. Like, I grew with this work. This work don't come from no wronging. This work don't come from no wronging or rapist or paedophile could write this type of shit. That's like somebody telling you, yo, Jadefre's a pedo. You're gonna say, how this nigga done give me so much? How the fuck can he? Yo, that's gonna mess with you. You're gonna have to like, yo, turn it around, think about upside down, think, yo, picture Jedi. It's gonna mess with you on the next level. So I went through that with you. So I'm glad, because I always said, yo, we're gonna redeem his name, man. We know what they did. So Rod and Young Elder have basically said the same. Young Elder said this, which we were saying in 2002. Any book that's got Dr. York's name on it that came from after they arrested Dr. York, do not trust that book. These Nuwapians who have turned this thing into a religion thing, yeah, and are coming out with all these distorted books. We said this from the jump. The first one I read, yeah, and I put my hand on my heart under Amun, yeah, and say, listen, the first one I read was Genetic Kiss. And when I read it, my first experience from the first couple pages, I said to myself, this ain't Baba's book. This is not Dr. York's book. Yeah, and I stood on that. I said, that's not his book. So I started telling my baby mum, my first baby mum, Amelia, I was like, listen, we don't want none of these. We ain't buying no more of these books. We're just going to buy all the books that came out before he went jail. Because I already smelled a red herring from a long time. I got that type of fucking, I don't know if it's a sixth sense or whatever. It's like, nah, that's not York's work. I really thought the geezer was cloned. But anyway, Young Elder says, these Nuwapians were taking Dr. York's letters that he writes to certain people, because obviously he's going to explain certain things. Like, imagine if I went jail and one of you wrote to me, we might start talking about some Anunnakis, or you might ask me something in the letter and I'm explaining it to you. It's like 5 pages or 6 pages. Yo, it's like a little book. These niggas was taking these letters and transcribing them and making them into books and putting Dr. York's name on it and making loads of money off this shit. Yo, Dr. York's business is a whole business. Them niggas is self-sufficient out here. So there's somebody who's still making money off this shit, man, while distorting the shit for you. Changing shit in there to fuck up Baba's legacy. One of the first things I spotted was, hold on, this Nuwabian word doesn't mean that. Because I know Nuwabic well enough to know, hold on, that don't mean that. That means something else. And then when I go and check now, it's changed. Yo, when did it change? And yo, every week shit was changing until they came up with a whole new language. It's like, hold on, that language is dead now. Now we're moving to this language. Oh, the Holy Tablets is irrelevant now. Now we've got the Psalms of Yanun. Nigga, I got the Psalms of Yanun here. I went and bought that shit just to scrutinize it. I read it from cover to cover. That's some bullshit. That's not even like 0.0% of the Holy Tablets. What the hell are they doing? So I tuned out of them a long time ago. Like, we're talking 2002. Yeah, and I've had many clashes with them where I'm like, listen, I don't fuck with no Nuwabian, I fuck with York. And they're like, hold on. You see them like puzzled. I'm glad I leave them there. But yeah, Young Elder said that shit there. He said, you really think they would arrest Baba and try and smash him up like that and then let him write books and keep teaching us from jail? I said that to myself years ago. I said, you really think they're going to let this nigga write from jail? Come on, man. Y'all niggas is Billy. Y'all, you sound like Muslims and shit, and Christians and whoever else religious people. And Dr. York said, question everything, even him. So, yo, Young Elder said that. And then yesterday, Rod Hayes, he took it even deeper. And what he said rang a bell with me, because he said this. This is what you got to understand about York, yeah? He traces himself to Jesus and Muhammad on his father's side. Yeah, the real family of the prophets, yeah? And he gives you the receipts for it in his books all the way back to Adam. Show me a next man that does that, yeah? And so Rod Hayes says, listen, everyone was focused on his dad and how he's related to the, Jesus and Moses and Adam, all these mythical prophets, if you believe them, yeah? That's the bloodline he comes from, yeah? And then when he exposed who his mum was and how, okay, so you're a half Nubian, Kushite, and you're a half Native American, like proper Washita Native American Moor, who traces back to Jacob York and them on the Lawrence Clark. This became a national security issue for the USA, because what he's done there is unite the black world. Look at us now. We're still arguing about whether we're born in Africa, whether we're born in America. America came first. Africa came first. The pyramids in America older than the pyramids in Egypt. So if a man now comes along of Dr. York's kind of caliber, and now he's related to both. Nigga, my father's side is in Africa. My mother's side is in America. What now? I'm going to unite the whole world of fucking black people. That became a fucking problem for Mzungu. Yo, lock that man up. Get him out of here. Yeah, it was fine when he was talking about Muhammad and Jesus and religion. And yo, as soon as he started going into this Native American shit and how all of them never came on no boats from the slave trade and all, that's a made up story. Yo, they got him out of there. Because at the same time, he was teaching us how to be self-sufficient, how to have our own money, how to live in our own communities, how to make our own clothes. Nigga, come on. He was talking about, I'm going to have my own money with our own faces on there, the faces of our own ancestors and shit. Yo, get him the fuck out. This is a national security threat. Nigga can't be out here uniting niggas. Nigga, we said we ain't never going to have another black messiah. Get that nigga out here. Yeah? So I'm glad Rod Hayes came and added his piece to confirm that shit, where I've always been pushing. Anyone who knows me knows that's what I've been pushing for how long. Yeah, so they actually said that. Yeah, and I want you to understand in the Bible, is it Revelation, the way it says in the last days, I think it might be the book of Malachi, the sun of righteousness will rise the sun will rise in the west. And it's talking about the son of righteousness, who is called in the Bible Melchizedek or Malachi Zadok, which means my angel of righteousness. And notice how it says it will rise in the west. So this man saying his father's side's from Africa. He's born in the Sudan, yeah, in 1945, yeah. He ends up in the United States, planned, yeah, because all of this Ansar community in the Sudan got wiped, family, father got killed off and all this shit. They saved him, yeah, the forces, put him in America to do this job. Nigga, you got 30 years to wake up black people. After the 30 years, we can't do nothing for you. They're gonna come for you and knock down the shit and mash up your name. But anyway, this is, you have to do this because it's gonna put seeds in our people, black people. It's gonna unify the thing, fulfill prophecy. Yo, I'm stepping up to do this thing. He does the thing. Yo, that's a national security issue, man. You heard what fucking J. Edgar Hoover said. We ain't never gonna have a black messiah over here, you know, fighting black people and shit, unless we make him. Like fucking Obama. They made that nigga. That's what they, you can have a messiah, that you can have him. Change! Yes, we can. That's your fucking messiah, mate. That's how they're having you. They don't want a Dr. York out here. They don't want a Noble Julie out here. They don't want a Marcus Garvey out here. All these niggas, they had to join these organizations, these secret societies, Scottish Rite, York Rite, so they could learn these fucking secrets and give them to me and you. Put them out here in the fucking public forum. Why do you think they got killed for it? They had to do that. Half of you stupid niggas out here, not none of you guys, I'm talking generally. Oh, he's a Mason, I'm not listening to him. They had to go and be a Mason, to go and find out the fucking secrets to free us. How the fuck you think we know what we know? You understand? Niggas had to walk through that dark path. But some of us are so stupid, probably ain't even read a book. Oh, I'm not listening to him, he's a Mason. Yeah, Farrakhan's a Mason and this guy's a Mason, Elijah. All of them niggas was Masons. How do you think they know what they know? Nigga, we came from knowing nothing. You think some fucking genie just floated out of the air and told us some shit? Nigga, we have to walk down them rugged paths, man. Do you understand? And go against the grain and put our lives on the fucking line just so we could tell y'all niggas the truth of this shit. It's for real, man. Yeah, so, and also, all Moors ain't on our side. You got Moors and morons. The elders will break that down for you again. Yeah, there's a lot of these Moors are responsible for what you're calling white supremacy racism today. A lot of these Moors, we've spoke about it before without Rod Hayes and Young Elder. We spoke from us saying that, yo, the black nobility in Europe was black folk, yeah, and they are behind the white supremacy, and enough of them mix themselves out into these families that you see today, and these families can trace back to these Moorish bloodlines with these Moorish names and shit, yeah. A lot of them are still black, and they just don't show themselves, and these are morons, yeah, certain fucking Moors. It's for real, man. Okay, so don't fall into the trap of the people that only want to try and destroy the master teacher's legacy, and understand that every devil ain't white. A lot of because we keep focusing on this white thing, Mzungu, white people, rare, yo, our eyes are never on the black devil. He's got a fucking, yo, I can do what I want. They ain't even looking at me. They keep talking about white people and shit. Yo, let's go and fuck they shit up. Yeah, everyone that looks like you is not of you. They might look like us, but they not us. They the ones that was the 9 people in Malcolm X's organization, and these Judas friends that you have around you, man. You gotta fucking sniff them out, man. We've all got them around us. They're in our families. They're in our fucking, yo, workplaces. They're in our fucking communities. You understand? They're in our friend circles. You have to fucking identify them, because one of them is worse than 10 enemies. I'm telling you this from experience. One black devil or frenemy is worse than 10 of your fucking enemies. You better pay attention to the people around you and the connections you make around you. You get me? Yeah, so they behind white supremacies. I just went on into these rest notes, man. Yeah, because we was having such a good discussion, guys. I hope you don't mind. It's nearly finished. Yeah. So get rid of all these isms and schisms that are running from these morons behind the face of white supremacy racism. I don't care if it's Mosesism, Christism, Mohammedism, colonialism, imperialism, capitalism, socialism, communism, racism. The only ism, to me, this is from my research and my perspective, the only ism I'll ever give any time to, and I'm not trying to say I'm down for any ism, but the only ism I'll give any time to is Nkrumahism. Kwame Nkrumah, rest in peace. That same Nkrumahism that birthed students like Marcus Garvey and many other great men that wanted to return us to our greatness. That's the only ism I'm interested in. Any other ism to me is fuckery. You understand what I'm saying? And yeah, as I said, in Colorado, United States, all the high beings like Rod, Dr. Malachi York, Larry Hoover, all them niggas is meeting right now. They're all with each other. Farrakhan, Rizza Islam, Dane Calloway, they all meeting together. Donald Trump works for us. He works for the tribes. And because he works for the tribes and he's been given jobs to do, like when he came out the White House, he took some from the White House and gave it to these guys in Colorado. Papers, records that they've hid from us, the records of black people, certain records of black people that were hidden under mountains and stuff. Yo, Trump was ordered to go and retrieve these shits. And he went and fucking retrieved them. Real talk. And Trump, and this is why the media was so against Trump and this establishment. Yo, we want him out, get him out. Yo, cheat if you have to. When you ever heard of America going so far to cheat an election? They've usually got shit under more control than that. But this shit was so ugly, and the potential for the damage Trump could do with the more time that he's got in that fucking White House is now making me think, yo, Rod Hayes and them are right, you know. Because I've hinted at this in my book, Coronation, so I'm not changing my view. I've always said, yo, Trump's following orders. He's not exactly on our side, but he's following orders. Yeah, so he's a part of the cleanup when he's saying drain the swamp and watch the waters and all this shit. He's speaking in code, not just to us, but to the people who have put him on this fucking task. So apparently, yeah, when he came out the White House, he took certain codes, he took certain paperwork that is not supposed to be in our council's hand, and he took it over to them. And so basically what I'm trying to say is this show is over, guys. We're the ones who are keeping it afloat. Critical mass, we're right on the cusp of it. Yeah, so me saying, oh, I'm not going to put myself in the public forum and shit, fuck that, nigga, I'm back. Because if we right on the doorstep, we need to turn this shit the fuck over. We need to blow the lid off this shit here. That means we need to go ham right now with what we're doing. We need to be, yo, more regular than ever. We need to ignore all of the fucking, I know it's hard. It plays, it's a psychological war. You understand? But we need to like, yo, let me bite down, man. This is like the last furlong. If we do this like for another year and shit, there may not be a corporate media left. Yeah, we've damaged them, man, even though they like to go on fake the numbers and shit. So it looks like we're not doing nothing. I know we've damaged them. We've damaged them. These niggas is about to take the knee. They can't take no more of this shit. And that shit's about to be taken over. So, yo, don't give up on your social medias and shit. If anything, use it more better. Become a part of this fucking force. Where every day you're like, I'm going to post one post every day just to inspire people to wake up and look at what the fuck's happening or whatever you got to tell yourself. But just don't not do it. Don't go into that attitude I did yesterday where I'm like, fuck this, man. It's like speaking to the wind and rare. Let me just go and focus on this. Nah, that's what they want us to do. So we can give them some time to regather themselves and figure out how the fuck they're going to, because they can't win, man. Do you understand? It's checkmate. The critical mass is coming. Yeah, if you haven't watched Dane Calloway's videos, check them out. If you haven't watched the Young Elders videos, check them out. If you haven't watched Rod Hayes videos, please check them out. Who else? If you haven't watched Taj Tariq Bey, check out his videos. If you haven't watched any of Dr. Malachi York's videos, check out his videos. And Young Pharaoh is also with them. Yes, sorry, I'm glad I said that. And Rod Hayes said a lot of people were kind of pissed off that Young Pharaoh is included. But they decided, you know what? When this man was doing his thing, he did so much fucking work. That nigga put the work in. I've even said that. Yeah, that I don't really follow Young Pharaoh, but I respect that nigga put the work in. Yeah, nobody can say when he was on his come up, making himself into Young Pharaoh, that he didn't destroy a whole bunch of fucking isms to make himself Young Pharaoh. So they said just because of that, they go and support the brother and include him, because we need to be in a unity thing right now. They ain't gonna dwell on what happened. Obviously, they must know more than what we know, what really happened to him and shit. But that's the word that's coming from the elders, that Young Pharaoh is with them and they've took him under their fucking wing. And I'm glad to hear that, because that brother needed help. And a lot of time when our stars fall from grace, we laugh at them. We don't want to help them or nothing. We just ridicule them, laugh at them, gossip them, and then left them for dead. And then look for the next best thing. And look, Rashad Jamal's been arrested today with his girls. If any of you caught a wind of that, I've not watched the video. Shout out to one of my best friends, Alethea, Empress Lotus. She sent me the video. Haven't watched it yet. But yo, he's been arrested. Now, you know they've been after him for a long while. It's like they attack us. We have one of the most dangerous jobs in the world. Probably the only thing more dangerous than what I'm doing by giving you guys this information is a rapper. Being a rapper is dangerous. So I'm both. I'm doing this dangerous shit for you, and I'm a rapper, which is the most dangerous job in the fucking world. See what I'm saying? So that's why I say things like, yo, when you come in, put a like on the stuff and help me do this. Make me feel like, yo, I should come and do this. It make me feel like, yo, I got people that is fucking helping. Yeah. Shout out to Carl Blackstock. I hope I got your name right from Instagram with that beautiful comment that you made on my post today. I felt that, bro. So yeah, man, we at war. We need y'all. Some of y'all might be the people who, when someone's wounded in the field, yo, you run up with the water, give him something to eat, run back up. Yo, some of us, that's the role we gotta play, to help other people, man. To spread the love, to spread the light, to make people feel like, yeah, this is worth it, man. More people are, come on, let's grow this thing. Yeah, don't just be a consumer, man. One of them spectator dudes, man. Because I'm telling you, the world has got too much of them. And silence is compliance. And like I said, if you're going to watch any person's video, not just mine, the first thing you should do, if it's a brother or sister, whether you agree with what she's saying or not, or he's saying or not, you're supposed to put a like on that video. Because we fighting a fucking war right now, an information war. We being censored left, right and center. Nobody's supposed to have to ask you during their live to put a like on the fucking video. If you're in the building, you're supposed to say Salam Alaikum or Hotep or Rahubat, whatever greeting you do. When you come in the building here, you put a like on the fucking video. And I want to extend that. Whenever you go to somebody else's video, extend that courtesy to them as well. Because they're giving you something. You're staying there to watch it, put a like on the fucking video. And that's the minimum you can do. It's not even like you're doing a lot. Yeah, that's the minimum you can do. You can do other things. You can leave a comment and say, do you know what? I really felt that video. Thank you, like Carl Blackstock did. You could share the video. Do you understand? The least you could do is like the damn video. You understand? And that's not just for me, because I ain't doing this for likes. I'm talking about anyone you see out there that's a content creator and they don't have a big following and you know they up against it. The first thing you do when they fucking giving you something, you go on that little like button and you fucking push a like. That's the least you can do, guys. Yeah, so I hope this live has gave you guys something. Yeah, stop acquiescing this system. Stop being a part of the system. Find a way to employ yourself. Find a way to survive without having to depend on these fucking the governments. Because the more you depend on them, the more you involve yourself with this matrix and this system, you're just prolonging them being here. I'm sure you don't want them here no longer. I'm fed up of them, man. Like yesterday. I'm sure you are too. So let's figure out how we can stop keeping them here. How we can stop fucking relying on them, whether it's benefits or whether it's the work or whatever, man. And to enable, for us to be able to do that, we're going to have to support each other and like each other's shit and share each other's shit and buy each other's shit. If you make shoes, I might have to buy shoes off you. If you can design a house, I might have to hire you to design my fucking house. If you sell groceries, I might have to walk 2 miles farther just to support you so we can have money among us. If we're not going to do that, be prepared to fucking die, yeah? With the rest of these sheeps out here. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you. That's how fucking harsh it is, yeah? And I say that to you guys with love. So with that being said, Namaste, yeah? Hotep, we love you all.